Can you talk about how you got into trading, your journey to becoming a successful and profitable trader?
Sure. Yeah, I first got into trading really coming out of college. I graduated during the recession, and there weren't a lot of jobs out there. So I got interested in trading just because my dad was always pressing me to kind of take the next level in investing. Um, so he he started me off as a young age, just kind of teaching me about investments and started with small things like bank accounts and, I went on to CDs, money management accounts. And when I got out of college, he was like, hey, take the next step, start learning about stocks. So I started learning about stocks. I was fortunate enough to meet a guy that had a lot of success in the stock and real estate business. I was dating his granddaughter essentially, so he kind of brought me in to feel me out, make sure I was okay. And when we noticed that we shared this interest, he kind of took me under his wing. So I started in the stock market, had pretty good success with investing. However, the money was slow. I was young and greedy and wanted to, was kind of disappointed, like I'm not making $1 million right away, even though I'm doing well. And that's when I really stumbled on the Forex. I tried penny stocks for a little bit to kind of get that action, that quick bang for your buck. I failed miserably at penny stocks. But eventually a friend of mine told me about Forex. And of course, you hear all the things about make a lot of money really, really quick. I did love trading, but obviously the money was intriguing. As I became more passionate about it, it's like, hey, I just don't want to do this for fun. I think I want to do this for a living. And I got into Forex, and the same thing, the learning curve was nothing like I expected. I expected to be good really, really quick because I had really quick success in the stock market. And Forex and trading and being a technical trader was a completely different game. Struggled for a very long time. Eventually ended up getting a mentor and a coach in trading or in Forex trading. Struggled for probably about a year, even after having a coach and a mentor, because my mind just wasn't right. And eventually I got my mind right. I started focusing on the right things, the things that my trading coach had told me the entire time. And things started to turn around, and I started seeing success, and I haven't looked back since.
Nice. Interesting. So, keeping on that subject, because I know when I first learned about Forex, I thought it was a get-rich scheme too.
Yeah.
Once I actually got into it and learned how everything worked and how risk management was really like the biggest thing, it kind of changed my whole perspective on finances, period.
Yeah.
Can you just talk about like the reality of actually being a successful trader, how it really is?
Yeah, the reality is just like you just mentioned, the reality of being a successful trader is risk management is key. It took me so long to realize that as well. Everything you hear is about, the fancy lifestyle, the cars and the girls and the money, and you see all the posts and you want that type of stuff. And the reality is most of those traders fade. Either, they have really short-term success and then you never hear from them again because they blew it all. Because they're over leveraged, or they're just flat out lying. And the reality of trading is it's slow. It's slow and it's boring. It's not. I get excitement from analyzing the charts, the process of going through charts and trying to figure out the puzzle. But trading opportunities don't come as often as you think. Good trading opportunities don't come as often as you think. A lot of trades lose, so you spend a lot of time losing. Most of your time spent as a trader is actually in a drawdown. It's really kind of just you kind of tread in the water for long periods of time, and then you get this big pop, and then you're excited, and then you kind of tread for another long period of time, and it's a slow, boring process. But if done right, it can be very profitable. It just isn't as exciting as what people make it to seem. I think the exciting part is just being in love with the markets and kind of the game of kind of figuring out and guessing what's going on, even if you're not actively trading it.
I was taught to learn to love the process instead of the result.
Yeah, that's good.
Always gave me some good. But next question: what is the hardest thing in Forex that you never accounted for, or before that you started?
Ooh, what's the hardest thing? I think trading psychology. I think what you just said about learning to love the process and not the results. Because no matter how you look at it, we're in a results-based industry. It's if you don't do good, you don't make money. You don't make money. What's the point in a sense? So results kind of always hover over your head. Like you need to do good. You need to perform. It's no different than like a professional athlete. If you don't perform well, someone's going to take your spot. But at the same time, we're taught, or we're at least the ones with the professional mindset, we're taught, don't worry about results. So it's a massive amount of trust in the process, especially as a younger trader. Now, I've been thankfully consistently profitable for a while, so I have 100% belief in my process, my strategy, my system. And not to sound cocky, but just I know I'm going to be profitable at the end of the year. I don't know how profitable, but I know if I do things the right way, I'm going to be profitable. However, a newer trader and myself as a younger trader, when you don't have those results to kind of back it up, when you don't kind of have historical results to say, hey, I'm going to be good, it's really hard because you're kind of flying blind. People are telling you, trust the process, just go through your trading plan and do it the right way. And when you're in a losing streak, you kind of think you're never going to come out of it. You're like, man, this is BS. I'm not, I'm losing money. I need to get the results. So it's hard initially to do that. But I think once you get over that obstacle and once you kind of get your feet into the game, you've proven to yourself that you can do it, it makes it a lot easier. But initially it's very difficult because results is the only way you can really, you're used to judging yourself. And that comes from school where it's like, you take a test, you get a grade back and that shows how smart you are. You can be the smartest person in the world, you think, but if you get a 30% on your test, everyone looks at you as being dumb, and you probably start to look at yourself as being dumb as well, even though you just may not be a good test taker.
Next question. Mm-hmm. What does your daily routine look like? And what are some practices or hobbies that you like to do to alleviate the pressure and stress of being a full-time trader?
Good question. I get up about 5:15 each morning. Yeah. Now that does vary depending on kind of the market behavior, and the day of the week. I'm not actively trading on Mondays and Fridays, so I can sleep in a little bit. It depends on, I got 2 kids, what time they went to sleep. I think sleep is important. So if it's a night where it's like I've been up all night with a crying kid, I can stretch it out to like 6:30 or something like that at the max. But I prefer to be up 5:15. I get up. I spend about a half an hour doing everything but trading. So it varies. I try to stretch. I try to do some type of like mental relaxation thing. I'm a former athlete that still tries to be an athlete. It's hard when you get older. The body hurts all the time. So I try to do something like loosen up the neck and whatever in the morning. And then I'll surf social media, surf emails for the first about half an hour of my day. And I do that because I used to rush straight to the charts right away. And I would find that even though my body is awake, like I'm up and going, like my mind is still kind of like in half sleep mode. And I just wasn't seeing things the right way. And I was making judgments that I shouldn't have. So I try to give myself at least a half an hour before I actually do anything serious on the charts. So after that half an hour, I'll spend probably anywhere between another half an hour to an hour, depending on what the markets are doing, just doing my pre-market analysis. Typically, that's longer at the beginning of the week. And then as the week goes on, I kind of know what to expect already, so it gets shorter. Follow that up with some food and some ESPN. Get caught up. Every once in a while, I'll look at the financial sites. I'll do like a Reuters or a CNBC and pay attention to the news, but I honestly don't care about that. I kind of want to get my mind away from trading before heading into my active trading day. So my active trading day, aside from like a Monday and a Friday where we do some other things with our members, active trading days, I'll day trade for 3 hours a day from about 7:30 to about 10:30. So I'm actively involved in the market. After that, I'll do some stuff for the business, like producing the video and uploading it so people can see it. But I'll try to do something to get away, whether it's playing with my kid, whether it's going for a run, a bike ride, some type of workout, something just to kind of de-stress from the trading day. And that's my form of meditation. I can't sit still and hum and do all that fun stuff. But like if I go lift some weights or I go run, I got a punching bag downstairs, I go hit the bag a little bit. It kind of lets me if I had a good day, gets the energy out. If I had a bad day, gets the frustration out. It allows me to kind of separate my trading from my life. That way I don't bring it back to my family. After that, at some point in the afternoon, depending on the day again, I'll do another round of analysis, probably produce a video for our members showing them what's on my radar. And then in the afternoon, I coach track and field. So I go down to a local college once again, get away from the computers. I get outside with people, um, and I coach and come back at night and spend time with my family.
Nice. Seems like a very busy schedule.
Yeah, but it's balanced. I mean, a lot of it depends on the day. There are days where, like today, I've got, you know, I don't know what I did. I recorded a video today, but there's nothing trading related aside from managing a few positions. So today was a pretty free day. And some days are busier than others, but a lot of it depends on the market and what's going on in the business side of things. The business side takes up a lot of time.
Yeah, gotcha. Last question.
Yep.
What is the best book that you've ever read and can recommend to young people?
Trading or just in general?
We'll do both. One of both.
Both. You know what? I think the book that I'm gonna give you two books. I'm gonna cheat for recommending. It's Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and Cash Flow Quadrant. They kind of follow up on each other by Robert Kiyosaki. Rich Dad, Poor Dad kind of talks about the difference between being like rich and wealthy. Which
I've read that. Well,
have
I
you?
read it, but I downloaded it.
Yeah, it's a good one. I mean, I think my dad did a good job of preparing me just like with financial education, but I never knew the difference between rich and wealthy. I thought people with fancy cars and big houses are wealthy automatically, when a lot of the time they're just rich. And if they miss a paycheck, all of that goes away. Or, I've seen people growing up, I'm from Philly, people growing up where they live in a horrible house, but they got a $50,000, $70,000 car outside. It's like, well, you're not really wealthy. You spend all your money on this thing. And so that book kind of changed my mindset. And then Cash Flow Quadrant followed it up. That really talked about the difference between, for me, being self-employed and being kind of a business owner and an investor. And for the longest time, I thought that self-employed was the same thing as like an entrepreneur, same thing as like a business owner. And it's really not. Self-employed is good, but self-employed also means that you need to work this many hours for your business to really strive. When you're a business owner, you still have to work, but your business has the ability, and same thing with an investor, you can produce money without you actually being there. If you're a business owner, you have employees that make sure the business is running when you're away. If you're an investor, kind of like in the markets, you can have a position, you can leave, and your money is still active in the markets making money for you. And that was big for me because I didn't want to be, 70 years old, still working, 16-hour days just to make sure my business is afloat. I'd love to have something where I don't have to be active and my money is still producing money for me. So I think that combination would be the biggest books for me in general that I would recommend. Trading related, I got a lot of them. I'd say Market Wizards is a good one. It's not a technical book. It's not going to teach you really anything about trading as far as like how to get involved in things. But Market Wizards gave me hope. I told you earlier, I struggled for a long time. I think a lot of traders struggle for a long time. Market Wizards was a collection of interviews with the best traders of all time. And reading through it, I discovered two things. One, all of these traders had different styles. And I thought when I first got involved, I thought there was one magic system that worked. Like there's one secret thing that no one's telling us that worked. And all of these traders had different styles. One guy used the almanac. He was looking at the stars and the moon and based his trading off of that. And, I'm like, if you can make trading, if you can make money in trading doing different ways, it kind of gives you hope. It kind of offers a different perspective to stop looking for this one thing and kind of look to just find your thing. And secondly, what was cool is that aside from one person, all of these traders sucked to begin with. I mean, all of them were really, really, really bad. There was one story of a guy that he was working for a firm or something. He lost all his money on a trade. He had to go in the stairwell and call his mom to ask for a loan. And I'm like, a grown man in the stairwell calling his mom, asking for money so we can get back into a trade. If that's not rock bottom, I don't know what is. But that gave me hope because all of these guys were bad. Guys and girls were bad at one point, and they went on to be the best. So from someone that was reading it when I was pretty bad, and kind of, you're down on yourself, you're depressed, you think you'll never be good. it was really encouraging because I'm like, man, like I can do it too. And it just gave me that little bit of hope to kind of keep trying and keep going after it. And I believe as long as people, if you're doing the right things for long enough, you'll find success. As long as you don't quit, you'll eventually become successful if you continue to work at it. So that was massive for me.
All right. Thank you for so much having me for doing this interview. First off,
No problem, man. No
thank
problem.
you for your time, but that's it.
Where are you at right now in your trading? What would you say?
Mm, I'm well. I just switched to stocks about
Hmm.
probably 6 months ago,
Okay.
but I was doing Forex since 2016.
All right.
Uh, but I stopped Forex because I was trading the dollar pairs a lot, and
Mhm.
those like very manipulated, and
Yeah.
I was getting very frustrated with it, so I just stopped. And stocks are a little bit easier for me.
Hmm.
I do moving average crossovers, and
Yeah.
occasionally I'll do like RSI divergence and all that. But I think I'm pretty good at it. My risk management has came a long way. I do mean a long way. Man, I will blow a 20% in a day, and it's like, how I even do that? I'm not 5%.
Man, I wish more people knew about that. I mean, it's so key, right? Just don't do anything stupid.
Yeah,
Stop
man.
doing stupid
They
stuff.
don't tell you like it's not really about the percentage that you win. It's limiting your losses. Like that's like huge.
Dude,
People don't really understand that.
they don't. Everyone's so I deal with this on a daily basis. I mean, everyone's so caught up over like you got to win 80% of the time. And it's like you don't have to. Like just you can lose a lot. Just keep your losses small. Just don't
Mm.
take that big loss that takes 20% of your account. And like you'll get those. I mean, I think everyone wins, but the successful people, like you said, they keep those losses tight, and their wins make up for it. Where the ones that are struggling, they hit those massive bombs, and it takes it takes away from all their winners and some, and then they're in the hole.
And then
So
their
it's
psychology is goes out the window, and they just start doing stupid stuff.
exactly,
Hard
exactly.
to do.
Oh man. All right, man. I appreciate it, man.
I
I appreciate
appreciate
it.
you.
Hey, no problem, man. If you ever need anything, just feel free to reach out, all right?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
No problem. Take care, man.
You too.
Thanks.
Bye bye.